Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be a reading for the first section of Aquarius and how the elements and the qualities of the Astroflower are influencing the elements and the qualities within your sign. So if you don't know anything about the Astroflower, please do go into the description below. There are links to introduction videos which will help you enormously in regards to what we're talking about here in concerns with the elements and the qualities, but also to concerning the petal system that we have and how these sort of things interlink with one another. We've also got a sister channel linked down below called Cymatic TV, which goes into all the connections with the prana energies, so the energies coming through from the sun according to the planets, according to planet Earth, planet Earth, and also according to us, so through our chakras and our aura system. And we do an energy update on that once a week. We're going to be doing a lot more videos over there as well in concerns with energy and how energy works. So it will help you to understand what's flowing through you at this present time. So do get over there. Subscribe and click the bell, so then you'll get all the notifications on the videos which will tie into the Astroflower. Okay, yeah, pretty much done on the housekeeping front. Just need to bring up your flower, and there we go. Okay, so what you'll see here is your flower is in yellow with the Aquarius flower graded out behind you. And at the beginning of the season, it sort of crosses over, sort of thing. You know, the elements and everything, they sort of cross over. And as it comes into the season fully, everything sits perfectly on top of each other. And we will have another video coming out in around about the 5th of February, according to the Astroflower. So we'll have another Astroflower reading in 2 weeks. You are in your second sign of winter. So your sign is your first sign of winter. It's according to your birthday. So here at the moment, this is where you should have started some of your plans for the coming year. You should have enough energy that's coming back through you. The circulation of energy should be going a little bit quicker through your body. And therefore you'll be able to start putting plans into place, putting the roots into place for the coming year. It's also sort of preparing the ground for the spring. So according to your birthday, it may be a case of doing a bit of weeding and stuff like that. Excuse me. So you should be feeling a lot more sort of vibrant and stuff like that. But let's just go through and see how the elements sort of connect with one another. Because Aquarius is next to you, there's a lot of doubling up of energies, which you can see. So if you look down in petal 1 and 2, which is down on the right-hand side there, that's to do with your karmic path on the spiritual front. 1 is the influence from the universe. 2 is your karmic path. And it's a reflection of your own sign at the moment. These are the plans that you should have been putting into place after your birthday as it's coming through you. So you should have that, because Capricorn is 2/3 earth and 1/3 water. You have fire on top of water at the moment, and both cardinals are going in both directions. So you may find yourself highly passionate at the moment. Might be a little bit too much, because you do have your water, your cardinal water on fixed fire. So although you might want all the passion in the world, the universe might be sort of saying, hang on a second, that's maybe a bit too much. It may be a little bit too explosive at the moment. So you might have to watch out for that. On your karmic path, you've got mutable air on top of cardinal fire, which is really good for your karmic path. And you have mutable water on mutable air. So it's connecting those emotions and that mental sort of ideas as well, according to your emotions. But because of that cardinal fire, it's going to be pushing things up. So you may not be so concerned with the messages from the universe at the moment, because you are actually dealing with with your emotions at this present time. And as I say, above that petal 2, you've got that mixing of Sagittarius fire and Pisces water again. So there's a lot of mixed, really serious, passionate emotions at the moment, which is really good if you're going into a relationship and stuff like that. It could be fantastic because above that, you have that crossing of your very own cardinal earth on mutable water of Pisces within Aquarius. So this is sort of saying, try things out, go ahead, do things, plant things up, put your emotions into place physically. So that may be a case of a declaration of love, actually physically saying it, or it actually, it might, mean of holding someone's hand for the first time, or holding someone's hand you haven't held for a long time, because you've been in a relationship for a long time. These sort of things, the waxing and waning of relationships can be interesting over time. And I think it's more a case of that. So there may be less introspective at the moment on what you are physically doing, or which you are emotionally or mentally doing on your karmic path, and more a case of actually putting it out there, getting involved in the relationship, getting involved in the situation. And it could be tricky for you. There has been, the thing that's been helping you out is those cardinal holes coming through from the sun. So it's stimulating your earth energies. So that's helping you out and giving you direction of those double cardinal earths moving up through your spiritual sort of side. So it gives you, it may give you a blinkered sort of view, you know what I mean? You can be Capricorn, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get your head down and you've got that, that goat's head and that fish, and the fish tail is just whacking around at the back, which seems to be down in the cardinal, in the karmic sort of sections at the bottom. It's just whacking around and not really getting involved. But you got your goat's head down and steaming on, and it could be good, but it could cause conflict. So be wary of that, be very wary of that. Okay. On the physical side, on the material side, so that's on the other side, you've got nothing but water and air. It's just phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. On the message from the universe, you've got that cardinal air, water that's coming in, so it's bringing in emotions into you, and it's pushing out the mental inspiration or stimulation, and that's going in a anti-clockwise direction. So it's on the physical front, you may seem like it's future plans. You're still looking. It's like you've started filling out the forms to do your business and everything like that, but you've got your mind's eye on opening up the business, and it's not quite there yet. You're still in that sort of mental sort of stage, and emotionally, and how it sort of sits with you. After that, you've got that double cross of fixed air. Now, Capricorn, sometimes you can just be so headstrong, and this time of the year you tend to be. You've gone through your autumn, which is Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and your sign, as it were, Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So you've been through that calm period, which is leading up to Christmas, and then leading up to your birthday, and then you set off and you want to go. You want to run sometimes quicker than you can walk. It's like a river that's trying to force down a ravine, down a riverbed that's just too thin for it. So it's got to go up the walls. And you might drive yourself up the wall at the moment, and drive the rest of the world up the wall as well, with your determination on your material side. It's mental determination more than anything else. So you've got to be wary of this month, because you could be a real firecracker. And that's beautiful when you look at it from distance, and it's very interesting. But, close up. It could be difficult for the outside world to actually find space within you at the moment. This does have a good side to it, like everything, and I go into that in the books that we write as well. None of this is one-sided. It's always two-sided. So it's a really good moment to push on your plans. This is an amazing time for you to be really just singular focused on what you're doing in your business or in your job or anything that's concerned with the material world at the moment. And with those coronal holes coming through and a little bit of elements from the filament elements from the sun, it's gonna help that you to be concrete within the material world, but also it's going to stimulate those emotions. So that's where it could sort of flare up and cause you problems. But at the same time, it's good for you to sort of be in focus of what you're doing and stay in focus of what you're doing. Just be very wary of those emotions. Above that, in petal 8, so petal 9, this is where your guides are trying to help you work it out and in the inner conversation within your mind. It's passionate, it's quick, but it's very logical, very squared off logical. Things can be really put into place, and you put as much passion as you need into it. That seems the easiest part at the moment, actually, for you guys. It's probably just as well that there's not any too many solar flares coming in our direction, simply because I think that would push your air just out of control, and you could have a really bad time. But it doesn't look that way. So I just bumped the elbow. It doesn't look that way. It looks like it should be a lot more concrete because of those coronal holes. And this may change. This will definitely change next year because we've moved into solar cycle 25. You'll find all about that on Somatic TV. Go over to Somatic TV and you'll learn about that. Okay. So as these two sort of directions come together, we come up into petal 10. So petal 10 is right at the top. You have that crossing of that fixed air on mutable fire and sitting underneath you. So mentally, you're constant within yourself. You have a passion for life. And then in between that, in the center of that, you have a crossing of fixed air on cardinal earth. And the cardinal earth is coming from you. So you have a lot of control over things at the moment, and it will give you direction within the material side of life. And it's probably the best side to concentrate on at this present time. Within your petal 6, and this is this inner being within you, it's a reflection of what you've got. The crossing point between Sagittarius, the mutable fire, and the mutable water of Pisces. And this is that whole conflict within oneself between your passions and your emotions. And just got to be careful that they just don't get overrun at the moment. So I would put my money on your emotions winning through, being clear with your mental. So for you, it is connecting that air and that water, that mental and the emotional state. And that's both mainly within the physical world, but also at the base of your spiritual path as well. So it's a good time to connect those all together. Yeah. We will be doing another reading when these two come out. So it'll be another reading around about the 5th of February on the Astroflower and your elements and qualities. But also we've got the tarot readings coming out this week. They'll be coming out on Thursday, Friday and Saturday.